From Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. It's the final game of this three-game series, with the Astros still looking to break into the win column. The Stros send Scott Kazmir to the mound against Nick Martinez of the Rangers. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. The Astros come into Arlington, lose 2 straight. The road woes continue. Have you ever been on a ball club that had issues on the road, for example? And what did they do to try to get out of it?
Yeah, I've been on teams that had road woes. We're getting beat up, but we didn't have the talent that the Astros have. That's the curious thing for me, is that these guys are good. It just seems the offense isn't matching up by scoring runs to back up their pitching, and the pitching doesn't back up the team when they score runs. Scott
Kazmir goes to the mound tonight, trying to straighten things out for the Astros. Having a great season, also terrific in 2 starts for the Astros.
Yeah, pitcher of the month here in July, did a great job, had a .26 ERA in that month. You can see he has yet to give up a run in the Houston Astros uniform. Doing a great job. That's what he's over here to do, is help back up guys like Dallas Keuchel, Colin McHugh, shore up that starting rotation and give the offense a chance to come back and win these games on the road.
Our pitching performance is powered by Kubota, and we talk more about Scott Kazmir against the Rangers specifically. He's got some great lifetime numbers, and then the last 4 starts have been off the charts.
Yeah, he's been really good, really neutralizing some of those left-handed bats in that Rangers lineup, but he does a good job mixing that fastball, slider, changeup mix. In those 3 starts this season against the Texas Rangers, he has a 1.29 ERA, and that batting average against 116 against Scott Kazmir.
Coming up, the season's been fun-filled and pressure-free for the league's biggest surprise team thus far. But can they keep Club Astros jumping as the playoff chase heats up? Julia talks with someone who's been through the pressure cooker when we return.
Get set for the series finale, and the Houston Astros trying to get out of town with a win, as they have Scott Kazmir going, feeling pretty good about him on the mound. But this young team playing in some meaningful games here late in the season, as we are well into August. And our Toyota drive to the playoffs shows us where the Astros are right at this moment in the standings. There they are, 2.5 games up over the Angels now. Or for the Angels, got a win over the Cleveland Indians late in that one. 6 games back is the Texas Rangers, and you see the wild card there. lot of experience though on this team. As I talked about the young guys, there are some guys like Carlos Gomez who has experience with playing games that are very important late in the season. As recent as last year with the 2014 Milwaukee Brewers, you might remember the Brewers leading the NL Central for 159 days before collapsing starting on August 25th. Falling, not making it to the postseason after leading that division for almost 5 months. Very tough for him, and I got a chance to just chat with him about the importance of where your focus needs to be at this time of the year, especially when you are in the lead. And he said one of the things we did, we got complacent, but another thing we did is we worried about what the other teams were doing too much. And so that's something he wants to bring to this clubhouse. He wants to remind guys that it's all about the game you were playing tonight. Lumber, I'll toss it up to you.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and that's why he's here, that experience, whether it's good or bad. You got to bring that into the clubhouse, and what happens is you get to go through those opportunities, and if you're lucky enough, you get to play long enough to turn that around. And I'm sure that's what Carlos Gomez wants to do in that Astros dugout for the next couple years.
Tonight's Astros starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For A.J. Hinch, he lines them up. Jose Altuve in the top spot at second base. Center fielder Carlos Gomez follows, and then Carlos Correa, the great young shortstop, in the middle. Third baseman Jed Lowry. The DH is Evan Gaddis and Colby Rasmus in right field. And the bottom three, Hank Conger does the catching at first base. Luis Valbuena and Jake Marisnick is in left.
Nick Martinez for the Texas Rangers going tonight has yet to face the Astros this year, so this will be his first start. Making his 20th start on the season, a .500 record, 4.01 ERA. It's his birthday today. Youngsters turning 25. Left-handed hitters hitting .229 off of Nick Martinez. Right-handers hitting .309. Pretty much a fastball slider pitcher. Also has a changeup and curveball, but just doesn't throw them that much.
And the first pitch of the evening is hit high in the air into right center field. It's the center fielder DeShields with the play. One pitch, one out as Altuve flies out.
Defensively, Ryan Rua is going to be out there in left field. Delano DeShields, you just saw in center. Ryan Strasburger in right field. Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus on the left. Adam Rosales out there at second base. Mitch Moreland at first base. And Chris Jimenez. Yes, I said it. Jimenez behind home plate.
You better check that out, I think.
I have. It's all over Baseball Reference. It's all over Stats Inc.
Yep.
We've asked everybody in the booth next to us, and they've confirmed several times over that Chris prefers to be called Jimenez.
That's the family name, Jimenez, and we will go with that throughout the evening. Game started at 7:07 p.m. 100 degrees here at the ballpark, Globe Life Park in Arlington. Carlos Gomez at the plate, hit that 100th home run of his career last night. Looked like a big one at the time. The Astros let some opportunities get away late in the ball game and eventually fell by a run to the Rangers. They've lost 2 here in the series. Two 2-0 the count as Martinez works it with a breaking ball for a strike. The Astros start play tonight 60-48. Julia mentioned 2.5 games back of the Angels, who won this afternoon in big comeback fashion. Gomez takes a strike while he shows bunt. So 2.5 games in front of the Angels. The Rangers now 6 games back as they've made up 2 games here in the series. 20th start of the year for Nick Martinez. Pops it up on the right side. It's the first baseman Moreland with the play. 2 down in the first. It brings up Carlos Correa.
Got in the kitchen of Chris Gomez. Do you have any memories of your playoff runs when you were playing the last couple months and how they went, how you were feeling?
Yeah, some. I know that I got on some pretty good teams that had great pitching, and that pitching tended to dominate. But we also had a way of winning close ball games. I would say 1980, 81 even, and then in 86 it was Mike Scott and Nolan Ryan and Bob Knepper and Jim Deshaies, and the guys just took off as pitchers. And so I remember the pitching in particular, having worked behind the plate.
Any true leaders in those clubhouses, or was it just the performance?
It was mostly about performance, but I did play with one guy I will mention as Carlos Correa takes one just inside at the knees. Enos Cabell was always the guy that I felt was the genuine leader, the guy that had the ability to get in your face when needed, when he or others believed it was necessary, and yet could be, the the guy that everybody kind of mixed with and had a great time, but he never let anything slide on those ball clubs.
It's good to have those guys that are obviously competitive, which everybody should be in that clubhouse, but those guys that are outwardly competitive help motivate a lot of other guys that may need it at times.
Now, I know you played with some guys that were perceived leaders. Don't know if that always stands up. Correa takes another strike and has the count at 2-2.
I was lucky here with, Bagwell, Biggio. Billy Wagner was that guy that was a little more vocal, put guys in their place when necessary. Paul Konerko on that 2005 team was a guy that was pretty vocal and also led by a great example. I'm trying to think of the Padre teams I was on when we were winning the West out there, who was leading those ball clubs. But that was the same thing with us, is that we had such tremendous pitching that when the offense lacked a little bit, those guys definitely picked it up. Trevor Hoffman is a name that comes to mind in that Padres clubhouse when we were winning the West.
Great lockdown guy with that changeup. Two-hopper to third, right over the bag. Beltre with the play in a 1-2-3 first inning as the Astros go down on 12 pitches. Scoreless after a half. And now the lineup for the Texas Rangers. Delano DeShields, former Astros farmhand, in the top spot. Youngster making his major league debut, Ryan Strasburger. That is the way he pronounces it, Strasburger. French fielder is the DH. Middle three, third baseman Adrian Beltre, Mitch Moreland's at first, and playing at shortstop Elvis Andrus. In the bottom three, left fielder Ryan Rua. Adam Rosales does the job at second, and behind the plate, Chris Jimenez.
Scott Kazmir making his third start for the Houston Astros, reigning pitcher of the month in July. See those fantastic numbers in 5 starts. 0.26 ERA doesn't even make sense, but he's got great stuff. That 2.10 ERA leads the American League. Does it with a good fastball. Go from 90 to 94 when he needs it. Good slider, but we've actually been more impressed and seen some really good numbers off that changeup.
Just floats the changeup in a lot of the time as he brings the fastball outside edge, and just 88 as he starts the night.
And the thing about that changeup, we noticed, we were trying to figure it out and try and pick up on his tendencies, but that changeup comes in there at about 76, 77 miles an hour. He takes a ton off of it.
Little tapper back toward the mound, barehanding and dropping Kazmir, and he eventually has no play. So DeShields reaches to start the night for the Texas Rangers, and we'll see how this is ruled. Speed aboard now in the first inning as Ryan Strasburger makes his major league debut.
Ball just nubbed. Got way up in the kitchen of Delano. Just able to thumb it out there in front. No chance for Conger to jump out there and grab it.
So an unfortunate start now for the Astros and for Scott Kazmir. Strasburger stands in, batting right-handed. Infield shallows up at short and second, playing for the double play as Kazmir tosses over. We have not seen anything resembling what you'd call a real good move to first base from Scott.
It's the beauty of being a left-handed pitcher. You really don't need it.
Or Scott Kazmir, recently named the American League Pitcher of the Month for July. Third time an Astros pitcher has been named Pitcher of the Month this year. The bunt rolls foul on the first base side. Of course, it's Dallas Keuchel that won those first two awards, April and May. In the month of July, Kazmir 2-0 with an 0.26. Yeah, you're right, Blummer. It just doesn't make sense.
He's pitching in the big leagues, right?
And not even the greatest month of July ever, as he's just thousandths of a point behind a few guys there that had a little more success.
So you're saying there's room for improvement?
I guess they got one more out than he got over that month, huh?
That's incredible.
0-1 the count. Major League debut, and you're asked to bunt in the first inning. Turning to bunt again. Strasburger lays it down. A good one. Conger with the play and throws wildly down the right field side. And the Astros start very poorly here in the first inning. And then Rasmus launches one over the cutoff man, but Strasburger did not take second base. There are a lot of mistakes going on.
In the first two starts, everybody played so well behind Scott Kazmir. But apparently the bunt is an issue. We've seen some of the throwing woes for Conger behind home plate, throwing down to second base. Now we see it. It's tough to hit that second baseman, almost like playing quarterback for Hank Conger. Trying to hit Altuve covering second base. Did not work out well at all.
Well, the Rangers have runners at the corners, nobody out, and now Prince Fielder steps in. And he has been right there with the leaders in the American League all year long, hitting .329 as he starts play tonight, trailing only Miguel Cabrera, who's been on the DL quite some time now.
See the distance that Altuve has to cover right here. And watch when Conger picks up the ball. He's got to try and throw a strike and give something to handle for Altuve, who's got to hit the brakes and stay on the bag.
Line shot left field. And now backing to make the play, Marisnik. It'll be a sac fly as tagging and scoring is Delino to Shields. And that quickly, it's 1-0 Texas.
That will not be Kazmir's earned run. It's the only benefit of that, but last thing you want to do in this ballpark, it seems, is give these Rangers a lead.
Again, the Rangers winning the first two games of the series, and now Adrian Beltre, who had a cycle in game one of the series, stands in, hitting .266. There's that changeup. Blummer talking about the velocity there at 78, kind of like, in terms of velocity anyway, the Roy Oswalt slow curveball.
Yeah. It's crazy how he's able to take that much speed off of it.
Two-0 the count, dangerous count for Adrian Beltre. Not having a typical season this year, but Beltre always dangerous. Just 9 homers this year, 18 doubles, 3 triples. Of course, we saw one of each in that first game of the series. That line shot woke some folks up. Texas Rangers as a team hitting .254. That's 6th in the league. They are 4th in runs scored. They run well. They're second best in stolen bases with 65, just behind the Astros. Kazmir with the 1-0. Make that 2-1, excuse me, and now it's 3-1.
Chance to look at the strike zone. Brought to you by MD Anderson. Hey, can't give up on the pitch.
Umpires don't like when catchers move from where they set up, but they should be looking at the baseball and not the catcher. It's never been an acceptable excuse, in my opinion. And a walk. So an error allows Delino DeShields to reach to start things. Strasburger with a sacrifice bunt, but an error was involved there on Hank Conger. Prince Fielder with a sac fly, a run in, and now the walk to Beltre. Runners at first and second. One out for Mitch Moreland. For Prince Fielder, that RBI, his 63rd of the season. So an unusual first inning for Scott Kazmir. Trying to battle out of this jam.
Talk a lot about that changeup from Kazmir, but he does a good job with that fastball elevating, changing that eye level. He's got great velocity still on that fastball. But how about left-handers hitting 221 off him, right-handers hitting 196? 7 right-handed batters in the lineup tonight for the Rangers.
That changeup against right-hand hitters would probably be the culprit.
That's the equalizer right there. I agree.
We mentioned that great ERA for Kazmir in the month of July. 3rd lowest ERA in July in Major League history, minimum of 25 innings. Spud Chandler and Frank Allen, pitchers from yesteryear, just ahead of what Scott Kazmir turned in.
Good old Spud.
Spud was your favorite. I saw your Spud Chandler baseball card that you wear in your cap all the time.
I do. It's in the pocket of my suit jacket.
Nice. Check of the runner at second. And now 2-1. And Conger can definitely backhand some balls to his left.
And I'm sure Astro fans at home already recognize the fact that this is the first time Hank Conger has had a chance to work with Scott Kazmir.
That series of signs, and there are numerous ways you can go about creating a sign with the fingers that go down. Fastball blown by. 2-2. Just to give you an idea, simplest of signs, might say the second sign thrown down is the one you choose. You could choose any one of the series. You can count the first number and then count just pumps thereafter and roll it back over to 1 after a certain number. Just a whole lot of ways you can go about it. Little soft liner dunking in center field. Here comes to the plate run number 2 for the Texas Rangers. As scoring it is Ryan Strasburger, his first run scored in the major leagues. RBI single Moreland. It's 2-0 Texas in the first.
It was real smart if one of the Astros went out and had a chat with Kazmir just to slow him down a little bit. He's starting to throw a lot of pitches in this inning due to those 2 errors in the first 2 hitters of the game. But a good piece of hitting by Moreland, who's gotten beat by 2 fastballs earlier in this count, manages to poke one out into center field. Might be kind of good to see a cutoff man mixed in between all that mess. I think at some point on the road, AJ knows what's going on, but he's going to get that, man, how do I say it? Because I almost said it. That pull your head out of a certain body part area and get things going, boys. We got a guy on the mound who has just given up his first and second runs in this uniform. Can you please back him up with some good defense?
Would you agree this has been a really loose team all season long? When you have a lot of success, you tend to be loose. It tends to help you play well. But then comes that moment like right now. The Astros may be embarrassed after the first 2 games of the series, and now this poor start. And I think it was one of those moments, maybe a rare one for A.J. Hinch to kind of air it out a bit. And if not air out, maybe more accurate would be to say,
well, yeah, that's the thing. I know what you're saying.
Let's regroup right now, guys. You're going to have to start doing the right things, and let's get at it.
Yeah, that was me managing right there. I'd be going out there going, hey boys, we need to lock this down. We are much better than this. You got to go out and make the defensive plays. We've got a guy like Kazmir who tears up these Rangers, make some plays. But yeah, I agree with you. AJ is much more positive than a lot of managers you and I have played for and seen around the big leagues.
Got the impression from a distance that maybe last night got to him a little bit. And then you have this kind of a first inning, and I think there comes that moment when you've got to say, hey, look, fun and games over. Right now it's time to play some serious baseball.
Yeah, you really don't want to let things get out of hand. And also in that clubhouse, those guys know what their record is on the road. I mean, the media outlets, the Twitters, the media that covers everything and lets them know about every stat that's ever been made. They know what they need to do on the road. They know their position in the standings.
By the way, they are 22-30 on the road. Here's a looper into center field, drops in front of Gomez. Here comes Beltre to the plate. He will score. 3-0 Texas. It's still just one out in the first inning, and the Rangers are on fire.
And that's another thing you've got to understand. The Texas Rangers absolutely own the Houston Astros. They have been tearing them to pieces. The first game in, they scored 11 runs. They won that one-run game last night, but their bats have been swinging extremely well against Astros pitching here.
Tonight's game, the 12th of 19 meetings between these two clubs on the season. The Rangers have won 7 of the first 11. And that's hard to believe, at least when you think back to the Rangers club that broke from spring training. Just did not look like they had much of a chance. But they have come on strong. Pitch hit high in the air. That Ryan Rua at the plate. To his right and back a bit is Rasmus. He'll make the catch. Tagging and coming from second base on to third base is Mitch Moreland. So runners at the corners now with 2 down. And the 8-hitter Adam Rosales comes to the plate. The Rangers, by the way, are right at 500. They're 53-53 on their season. They've won 3 in a row. Rosales not playing a whole lot against the Astros, hitting 167 on the season, 220 overall. Rough first inning for Scott Kazmir.
Not just Scott.
You noticed on the initial play, Kazmir came on, tried to barehand, didn't come up with the ball cleanly, and eventually had no play at first base. Hank Conger barehanded, and sometimes when you barehand, you grab the ball deep in your palm, or it just doesn't fit exactly right. Astros got away with one as Colby Rasmus from right field launched a high throw into home plate. Nobody moved up. But just one of those innings that when it's all said and done, you think, what's going on here?
You just hate to have Kazmir, guy who's gone 7 and 8 innings for the Houston Astros, goes deep into ball games. This next pitch will be his 24th pitch on a nice warm evening here in Arlington.
Yeah, 100 degrees at game time at 7:07. Pretty warm.
How about the 3 games that Kazmir's now pitched for the Houston Astros? 2 of them have been in probably the hottest games of the year.
Pitched in Kansas City in that first game, and it was smoking hot there. And again, 100 degrees tonight. One of the starts in Houston, he had been unscored upon in the first 2 coming into tonight's. Rosales stays alive. Scott Kazmir recently has gone at least 7 innings in 8 of his last. Make that in 6 of his last 7 starts. And now here he is in the first inning. Next pitch will be number 25. Coming down that third base line, Mitch Moreland. Down on strikes, Rosales. That does it as the Rangers send 8 to the plate. Couple of errors charged on the Astros in the inning. It's 3-0 Texas.
Of the second, Astros frustrated with the loss last night, losing 4-3. A lot of missed opportunities for this club, especially in the ninth. That kind of told the story the entire game. They finished the night 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Just tough for this team, especially how offensively they had been playing up until this series. And A.J. Hinch saying after the game, we had chances. We just couldn't come through with the big hit. Rangers did. That's the difference in the ball game. Hopefully they can get some big hits tonight, guys.
Thank you, Julian. Already down 3-0 after 1 inning of play. The Astros went down 1-2-3 in the first inning against Nick Martinez. Now it's Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, and Colby Rasmus.
The one thing we can give credit to the Houston Astros is they will go out there and fight. They're not going to roll over and just let you beat up on them. They're going to put together some good at-bats and try and score some runs. Carlos Gomez having some chats with the hitting coaches here for the Houston Astros.
All 3 runs against Kazmir unearned. And yet there they are on the scoreboard, 3-0 Texas.
It's a good sign when Nick Martinez gets a 3-run lead and he promptly goes out there and falls behind 2-0. Control's been an issue for Nick.
Right now it may be more about taking a pitch, maybe not for Jed Lowry. Get yourself a good swing, drive one. There's both sides of the equation.
He didn't want to take a strike. He wanted to at least give it a pass.
And you don't even know what was said in the dugout as the hitters go out for the second inning. It could be that, come on guys, let's swing the bats. Let's make something happen.
Well, I think it's early enough in the game where that might be the sentiment to go out there and just get you a good pitch, get in a good count, or how about take a couple pitches and see if you can get in a good count. And when you're in that 2-0, 3-1 type situation and you get a good fastball to hit, let it eat.
Well, that offense is going to have to come to life tonight. They did score 9 in game 1 of the series. However, the Rangers put 12 on the board in that one. So Nick Martinez gets a little birthday gift right away with the 3 runs. 25 years of age for Nick Martinez. Just in his second year in the big leagues, went 5-12 last year with a 4.55 ERA. Got in 24 starts last year. 5 games out of the bullpen. Jed Lowry leading off the second. Hits one hard to right center field. In the gap, And making the play is DeShields, peeling off at the last moment Strasburger.
Still a good AB by Jed Lowry.
One out for Evan Gattis. Evan 0 for his last 7, hitting .244. As the night goes on and you hope the Astros have a chance to take advantage, there have been 6 stolen bases in 8 tries against Martinez this year. Spots it very well as he gets ahead of Gattis. Evan Gattis, an intriguing season with those 17 home runs, 7 triples, has just 8 on his career, and 7 of those coming this year, 14 doubles. Has a 2-1 count.
Good job taking those sliders. I would almost eliminate that pitch from my thought process as a hitter against Nick Martinez right now. He's got that 3-run lead. He's going to be aggressive with that fastball early in the count because that seems to be the one pitch he can actually locate.
Just under the knees, so 3-1. Home plate umpire tonight, Jim Reynolds. Manny Gonzalez at first, down at second, Paul Schreiber, and Field and Culbreth is at third.
We've seen some interesting strike zones out of this crew.
Yep.
But again, a hitter's count, 3-1.
I think Evan would like to have that one back.
Oh, did you see the reaction on him? Yeah.
Sometimes you realize it as soon as it's by you and you think that is exactly what I wanted.
Watch Evan. Thoroughly annoyed with himself. It happens sometimes. You can outthink yourself. Sit fastball in a 3-1 count. You get it, but the trigger is not pulled. There's a good chance he gets another one right here, though.
Gattis is the first base runner of the night for the Astros. As he draws the 1-out walk, it brings up Colby Rasmus. We mentioned that the Angels came out victorious today, 4-3 over the Indians. That was not the game, as I said, with the dramatic comeback. But the Angels able to win it over the Tribe. Cole Calhoun for the Angels hit his 15th. Mike Trout has continued in a funk here in the last few games. Colby Rasmus hitting .236. Well, now I'm going to have to eat my words again. The Angels did come back with 3 in the 9th inning, overcoming a 3-1 deficit at that point. Pitch is hit in the air in deep center field. Room for DeShields. He's back to make the play. Gattis goes halfway and returns 2 down here in the second. It brings up Hank Conger.
Both Conger and Castro have been swinging hot bats. Both did a great job on that home stand. Castro kept it going here in that first game of this series with that grand slam, trying to get the Astros back in the game. But 2 games here in Arlington, it's tough to catch 3 or 4 in a row, especially this time of year.
Rangers put the shift on for Conger.
I appreciate the guys in the truck replaying this. I had a question against Colby, but those pitches off the plate, that outside corner to left-handed hitters has been expansive this whole series. Not that expensive, but
that might be stretching things. Going to have to go back to the 1990s for that one.
I think that was my rookie strike zone.
Bell bottoms and strikes all over the place.
Man.
Conger fouls it back. 1-2 on Hank. Hank has earned more and more playing time recently, now with 8 home runs. Of course, one of those, along with Jason Castro, the only 2 grand slams of the season for the Astros. Right exactly where the catcher Jimenez wanted that pitch. Nick Martinez has gotten a lot of run support, and he starts out that way tonight. He's been averaging about 6 runs a game. '20th pitch of the inning right here, and a 2-2 count. The Astros lead in the West. It's Kansas City by 9.5 now over Minnesota in the Central. That division as good as done. Hard to believe the Detroit Tigers are 12.5 back, and they've dismantled. Line drive, but right at Beltre, and that's kind of the way things have gone here in the series. The Astros leave a man on the walk to Gaddis. It's 3-0 Texas. Presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
You're a roller coaster guy, Ash?
Not really. When I was a kid, probably, but I enjoy keeping my lunch down. How about you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yep. I've got one of my oldest daughter, Mia, is just a roller coaster freak. My wife does not like them. Fortunately, I don't mind them so much.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Just never bathe the folks below in anything you've recently eaten. First pitch of the inning from Casimir, taken for a strike by the 9-hitter, the catcher Chris Jimenez. Ball and a strike on Jimenez. So we mentioned Kansas City. They're running away in the American League Central. In the East, it's the Yankees now taking control. They're 5.5 up on second place Toronto. Blue Jays now 4 games over 500. They are starting to play real good baseball. Fly ball hit to center field, and this is much deeper than Gomez thought. In fact, it carries out of here. Chris Jimenez goes deep to center field on a 1-1 pitch. And that happens in a spot where you don't anticipate it. Jimenez with his first long ball of the season. And with it, 4-0 Texas, and the first earned run scored against Scott Kazmir since he's been in an Astros uniform.
Yeah, just a fastball down. Was able to go down and get it, scooped it. How often do you see a center fielder charging in and then having to go back and the ball is actually over his head out of the ballpark?
Yeah, Gomez in center totally grabbed me. I saw the ball go up.
I was reading him too.
I saw him coming in and thought, gee, there's routine play to center field. Half swing they appeal, and the strike is called down at first base. That by Manny Gonzalez. Again, number 1 for Jimenez on his season. Just the 7th of his career, and he's in his 7th season in the bigs. Delino DeShields caught looking. He knew it. That's the first out here in the second inning. Second strikeout by Kazmir. Ryan Strasburger now stands in. No official at bats yet in the big leagues. Well, I take that back. That was charged an E2 in the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. He had tried to bunt, laid one out in front of the plate. Hank Conger picked it up and fired it down the right field line. That's one of those nights. Sacrifice was awarded on that, but the E2 enabled Strasburger to reach. So still looking for that first official at bat in the bigs. Right on the hands, ground ball to short. Carlos with the play. That's out number 2 in the second inning. Brings up Prince Fielder.
Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Prince Fielder with a sac fly in the first inning, driving in his 63rd run of the year. And back on the home run by Jimenez. The last home run he had hit was back in September of 2012. Second best batting average in the American League, Prince Fielder. You think of the guy as a slugger, and he is, but he is a very good hitter.
Leads the American League in singles.
It's hard to believe. Fooled on the breaking ball. 1-2 now on Fielder.
Kind of sensing that you felt Jimenez was due.
Well, I don't know if I felt he was due or
overdue.
Imagine the Jimenez family thought he was overdue.
Now that's a strike for me.
Boy, it's hard to punch through the strike zone in this series.
Well, we've seen the left-handed corner. We've seen worse pitches called already in this game to left-handed Astro hitters. Just saying, you know, equal opportunity. It's a good pitch too.
Count stays at 2-2.
I think when guys are swinging the bat well and hitting well over 300, they do what Prince Fielder just did too, is just fight off tough pitches, able to extend at bats and then take advantage of mistakes. See some Astro fans hanging around too.
And the Astros would love to reward them with a W tonight. Long flight following the game off to San Francisco. 3 or make that 4 with the Oakland A's, followed by an off day and then 2 with the San Francisco Giants before returning home.
Nothing like 4 days with Mount Davis.
Good place to be, isn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Where else can you get a carpeted desk?
Prince Fielder down on strikes. That does it in the second inning. But the leadoff home run by Jimenez puts another run on the board. It's 4-0 Rangers.
Season tickets are on sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Luis Valbuena leads things off for the Houston Astros, who had a 2-for-4 night, a couple knocks last night, but he got that 20th home run almost out of the way the other night. That was his first homer in 83 at bats. So good to kind of get the monkey off the bat. You know he was thinking about it, and that's a big number anyway. But during that time, A.J. Hinch said he saw the average dip a little low. He was conceding some of that power, but maybe now that that 20th home run is out of the way, a little more relaxed, settled in at the plate.
Thanks, Julia. Valbuena has a 1-0 count as he starts this third inning. 4-0 Rangers. The Astros looking for their first hit of the night. They got a walk out of Evan Gattis in the second inning, and that's been the only base runner. Right-hander Nick Martinez celebrating his 25th birthday as a 2-1 count. Fastball at 89 on a 2-0 that you're hacking on, and that's not good when you're swinging through that.
Well, Luis Valbuena, Julia just hinted at the fact, you know, he might have been trying a little too hard to hit that 20th. I think he was trying extremely hard to hit that number 21. Fastball's away, and you start trying to turbo hook everything.
Well, this is a 9-game road trip the Astros are on. It has started with the Astros losing the first 2. Trying to pick one up tonight against the very tough Texas Rangers. 4 with the Oakland A's, 2 with the Giants, and then returning home. This one slammed but fouled on the right side. The Tigers come in for 3, followed by Tampa Bay for 4, and then the Dodgers in. They're in for 3, so it's a 10-game homestand. And we'd love to see you out at the ballpark. Make your plans to join us at Minute Maid Park. Tigers, Rays, and Dodgers on that 10-game stand.
Some interesting pitching matchups in that homestand.
Chopper on the right side. Martinez will have to cover as Moreland makes the play. 3-1 on the put out. First out in the third. That brings up the 9-hitter Jake Marisnick getting the start in left field. Preston Tucker got hit above the elbow in last night's game, and he's been bothered considerably by that one.
Came out of the game last night. Now not in the lineup today.
Martinez brings a strike. For Jake Marisnick, great start to his season back in April, and since then it has been a rough go for the right-hand hitter. Sees the high breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2 now on Jake. Marisnick hitting just .231. Showed power early on with 5 home runs over the course of the year. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There's dinner.
It's a dinner of champions right there. Another divided household here in Texas. Good grief. Spent some time bedazzling that lid right there.
Marisnick down on strikes. Second out of the inning. First strikeout for Martinez. You use that word like you've done some bedazzling of your own.
I'm a father of 4 daughters.
Got it.
I'm a Renaissance man. Luckily that fad went away quickly, at least in our household.
You haven't been in the kitchen doing that whole process?
No, not to the kitchen towels, no.
Okay.
I got a couple pair of jeans.
I'd love to see you in them.
A lot of people would. Some Supermo action brought to you by Mattress Firm on that slider down and away. Jake's having a tough time laying off those.
2 outs and the base is empty for Jose Altuve. Slams one to center field, but DeShields going back and makes the running grab. Ball hit hard by Altuve, but a 1-2-3 third inning. It's 4-0 Rangers.
Correa with the running run at third base with the jump throw from deep shortstop, getting the big out in that inning to get Will Harris out of a jam, much to his delight. Will Harris was on the mound again last night. Carlos Correa laying out on DeShields, making a good play on a speedy runner. That would have given the Texas Rangers a little more insurance going into that top of the 9th inning, but Carlos Correa spoils again, much to the amazement of Will Harris again.
Yeah, that left it a 4-3 lead for the Texas Rangers. The Astros had a chance in that 9th inning, and the opportunities got away. Adrian Beltre leads off for the Rangers here in the 3rd inning. Beltre drew a walk and scored in the 3-run 1st inning. Rangers with 3 hits, but the Astros with 2 errors in the 3-run 1st, all runs unearned. 1 Ernie against Kazmir. That was the home run by Jimenez leading off the 2nd. Line shot left center field, coming on Gomez, and he'll make the grab. Out number 1.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Brings up the 5-hitter Mitch Moreland. Had an RBI single in the 1st inning. One of 2 left-handed bats in there against Kazmir tonight, the other being Prince Fielder. This heart of the order for the Texas Rangers has turned out really good. They don't have Rougned Odor in there tonight, and he's been very good in the 2 spot. 45th pitch now for Scott Kazmir.
They've all been swinging the bats really well since the All-Star break, too.
So again, we mentioned that the Angels victorious already today, 4-3, as they came back to down the Indians in Anaheim. Baltimore in 10 innings at the Athletics, winning it 7-3. Kazmir behind 3-0 now to Moreland. Crush Davis had a big home run in that 10th inning. A grand slam, his 28th homer of the year.
Yeah, he's getting back to his old ways, driving in runs.
The Orioles are at 55 and 52. They could still make a run. They're right there with the Toronto Blue Jays. The Oakland Athletics fall to 48 and 61. Count's filled now on Moreland. 1 out in the third. Jeff Bannister, first-year manager for the Texas Rangers. Line drive center. Freezing, and now coming in a step or two. Gomez to make the play. A couple of fly balls to center field and a couple of outs here in the third.
Jeff Bannister was my manager during the winter ball season in 1995.
That far back?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization for a very long time.
Yeah.
I believe managing and coordinating and doing some things over there. But I had to rough it. You know, those winter ball destinations can be a little rough. So I had to go to Honolulu and play in the Hawaiian Winter League, and Jeff Bannister was our manager.
Well, that's unfortunate, but apparently you pulled through.
Yeah, it was a battle. It was, you take everything day by day and go out to the beach and collect your thoughts, and then go out to the yard and play some baseball. It's a job, Ash.
You do a lot of that deep thought thing out there on the beach?
Oh, yeah.
Ground ball left side, a big hop for Lowry. And a 1-2-3 third inning. So Scott Kazmir tries to settle in. 11 pitches in the inning. 4-0 Texas.
Parade with his 9th home run of the season last night. That was also number 100 in his career, number 1 as a Houston Astro. Welcoming him into that Republic of Crush right there as he goes down the party line after that big home run. There are a lot of home runs being hit by Houston Astros this season.
Yeah, as you say, they lead the major leagues in home runs. 152 this year, and they're looking for something to happen tonight. Pretty good looking breaking ball. It's a ball. 1-1 now on Gomez. Carlos popped to first base in the first inning. Almost gets hit by this running fastball. Two-seamer at the knees. It took 11 innings in Colorado as the Rockies down the Mariners 7-5. Seattle has just turned into a major scuffle this year, 50 and 59.
I didn't see that coming.
Nope. And I think a lot of people thought they were going to represent the American League in the World Series.
I thought they made some good moves to encourage that, but sometimes you got to play those games out instead of on paper.
Paper never has injuries.
No. Beautiful thing, isn't it?
And that's probably as big a factor as anything else in this game.
Just think about it. Iwakuma, King Felix, Taijuan Walker. The 3 top-tier pitchers.
Drawing the walk is Gomez. Flips that bat aside. It's a leadoff free pass. Brings up Carlos Correa.
We talked about those big numbers, 152, but there's a lot of guys in those double digits, and to make those big numbers. Jose Altuve, 9 home runs. He's trying to work his way onto that list. Hank Conger's got 8. But just real impressive stuff to see that many guys with that many home runs on one ball club.
Nobody out. Correa at the plate, grounded out to third base in the first inning. 0 for his last 8 now. After hitting that home run in game 1 here. Just launched one off the foul pole in the first inning. The Astros were off and running, but they weren't running quite as fast as the Rangers would the rest of that night. Hurricane just struck up here in Arlington.
What just happened? Oh my God.
Batten down all hatches.
Katie, bar the door.
How's your internet? That's working well too, right?
Yeah, if it was as good as that breeze, I might actually be able to open a page.
There goes Gomez. Pitch down and away. The throw down, not in time. Gomez goes by the bag, but keeps a toe on the bag. So a stolen base for Carlos Gomez. He will add quite a bit to that Astros running game this year. That's his 2nd stolen base for Houston.
He's a pretty talented ball player. He brings a lot to the ballpark. Track it down in center field. You've seen all the highlight reel type catches. He's got pop. He's turning his back pocket into a jewelry drawer. Does a good job of racing in there and getting that hand on the bag and keeping at least a body part on there.
Barely.
Seen a lot of guys this year sliding way past the bag.
Yeah. Very advisable to keep that glove right on the runner going by the bag. Correa lines it down the right side, but it slices and goes just foul. In 2000, the Astros with 10 or more home runs that year. Jeff Bagwell just barely got over that mark.
5 guys with 20+ home runs on that team. Caminiti only having 15.
Mitch Molesky, I managed him in A-ball and turned into a really good player for a brief amount of time for the Astros.
How about Darrell Ward?
Playing with the Skeeters these days?
Yeah, he's back in Sugarland.
At the age of 40 something.
Right, I think he's right on 40.
One of the guys that hit one to the river there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that was a pretty good poke. I was there for that.
Right on the hands, ground ball to shortstop. Andrus with the play on the run gets Correa out number 1 while holding Gomez at second.
Third baseman Jed Lowry.
You know, normally you'd like to see the runner moved over to third base, but you know what? 4-run lead or 4-run deficit. And I've got Carlos Correa at the dish. I'm not asking him to move anybody over. I'm asking him to drive runs in.
Exactly. Jed Lowry now. He's in the cleanup spot tonight. Fly to center in the second. Those 4 home runs hit Back in the early part of the season, he lasted just 18 games before going down, needing that surgery on the right thumb, and now trying to get it going once again. One of the rare contact hitters in this lineup. Hits it in the air, right center field, and this is hit well. Going back to Shields, won't get there. It's off the wall. This is going to produce a run as Gomez comes across. RBI double by Lowry, and the Astros finally strike. It's 4-1 Texas here in the fourth inning.
You can really see Jed Lowry going to school in between each at bat. Hit the ball well last time, but it was within reach of Delino DeShields. This one, he goes out and attacks that fastball, getting around it, yanking it into that happy part of this ballpark, deep around that 407 sign. It saw the ball well, kept the hands back nicely, barreled it up, and you can see launch it, just ball keeps flying out there in that corner. Deep enough to get it over him and allow Gomez to break the seal for the Astros.
Double number 6 for Lowry, RBI number 11, and now Evan Gattis, who drew a walk in the second. Martinez with the 0-1, and that almost hit him.
I'm not even sure Caveman would have felt that at 87 miles an hour. He might have just stepped back in the box.
Pick up a rock, fire it away. 60 pitches coming up now for Martinez. 2-1 the count.
Just watching Evan the last couple of days, it seems that front side is just opening up just a little too quick.
And that's the opposite of what we've been seeing with Jason Castro, for example, and Hank Conger, where they have been locked in, and you can see it in the results.
Yeah, just a real quiet front side. Let the hands open it up.
Three and one.
Because I think Evan Gattis has really done a good job this year of going up the middle the other way. That's when he's locked in, really hitting the ball hard, that opposite field gap, and occasionally getting that mistake on the middle in section of the plate and turning on it for big time bombs. But when he's going back up the middle and the other way, he can really destroy a ball around that H logo on his helmet.
Had a very rough start to the season, then went on that West Coast swing in Oakland, got it together. Ground ball left side in the hole. Backhanded Andrews, the throw on the run, and got him with a nice pick at first base by Moreland. And all Jed Lowry could do was stay at second.
Andrews can pick it. Seen it plenty in this series. We've seen it plenty over the last couple of years. Does a good job on that jump throw. Didn't quite have enough on it, but Mitch Moreland over there doing a great job of saving him.
Key play by Andrews for out number 2. And now Colby Rasmus at the plate. Infield shifts to the right side. Only Beltre on the left. Beltre, in an uncanny fashion, has been right on the money with some of the balls hit this series. Slammed to right field, but it's carrying, and a diving play in right by Strasburger. His first big play in the major leagues, and it shuts down the Astros in the fourth inning. They get a run and leave a man at second through 3.5. It's 4-1 Texas. Presented by Progressive, and we've talked about it a bit. This is what's coming up. Goes 4 with the Oakland A's. That off day in San Francisco. That's going to be a big day for some of us. A couple of games against the Giants. Then another off day before the 10-game homestand. The Tigers come in for 3. Tampa Bay for 4, and the Dodgers. The only time the Astros will see them this year in for 3 games. It's 10 big home games where the Astros have played so well.
Maybe that's a good sign. 4 games at home mean more wins right now. They're trying to figure it out on the road.
But you know, at some point they're going to have to figure it out on the road. Some of these wins have got to start coming along. First pitch of the inning. Kazmir brings the fastball for a strike on left fielder Ryan Rua.
Eventually you got to play a team that's not going to be barreling up every mistake you make and not making every play on defense spectacular, taking away hits and runs.
That is the truth. And another pitch in there for a called strike. Quite a play in right field on the line drive by Colby Rasmus. The youngster Strasburger coming on and making a very nice diving play. Otherwise, the Astros put a second run on the board. Well spotted, but missing away, and it looked like Rua was heading to the dugout.
Saw the same thing.
Little regroup by Kazmir. He's jamming that change in the dirt. Rua stays alive, leading off in the 4th inning. The Astros have just 1 hit, but that hit a double by Jed Lowry in the top of this 4th to drive in Carlos Gomez, who had led off the inning with a walk and then stole second. Tomorrow's game in Oakland will feature Scott Feldman against right-hander Aaron Brooks. That's a 9:05 start Houston time. Dallas Keuchel in the Friday game takes that 13-5 mark to the hill against Sonny Gray. So that's going to be a big-time matchup. Colin McHugh also with 13 wins goes Saturday against Jesse Chavez. And then the Sunday game, Mike Fiers makes his debut as a starter for the Astros. He'll do it against right-hander Chris Bassett of the Oakland A's. Pitch number 60 now for Scott Kazmir. Not as sharp by any stretch as we've seen Scott in the previous 2 starts. So he's thrown 1 changeup that he jammed in the ground, and then this one just simply gets away. It's the 4th 3-ball count now for Scott. Ground ball on the left side. Jed Lowry takes his time. Out number 1. Brings up Adam Rosales, who struck out in the 1st inning. Kazmir has 3 strikeouts tonight. Jed Lowry not yet playing every day at third base, but you would think at this point it's getting to where he would be feeling pretty solid each day.
Well, the more repetitions at third base are going to be better for Jed Lowry. Get you accustomed to seeing the ball off the bat, because that was one of the hardest transitions I had, was just recognizing how hard the ball was hit, number 1, and where it was hit off the bat at third base. It's kind of tough when you're playing those corner positions to pick up where that ball is. But also, he's been out on a rehab assignment. Yeah, maybe playing every other day down there, but when you get back in the big leagues, it takes you a little bit to get your legs back under. You don't want to burn out too early. And I think that's a smart move by A.J. Hinch, especially considering where we're at in the heat Give him a chance to get his legs back under him, get strong, get healthy. But I'm sure in the coming days he's going to be playing a lot more, especially if he's swinging the bat like he is right now. Creates so much more depth in that lineup with him in it.
Right now, Scott Kazmir appears to be relying pretty much on the fastball. One home run on the night. That hit by Texas. Chris Jimenez, the catcher. His first of the season. Adam Rosales hitting just .218. Ball hit sharply and gloved by Correa. The throw not in time.
No way.
You can't even believe the plays you're seeing from this guy.
I'm sure somebody in that dugout's going to be looking at the replay. Much like I would enjoy watching that replay again, because I thought he had no shot at getting this ball. Such a good instinctual, good first step, but able to stretch that long frame out and snag that, making an incredibly close play at first.
So for the moment, infield single for Adam Rosales, comes with one out and brings up the catcher Chris Jimenez. But we're just seeing one after another from Correa.
It's a first base runner after Kazmir sat down 7 in a row after that home run from Jimenez. Get a chance to supermo this thing. You know, one thing that doesn't get talked about enough on defense, as you see, Rosales does beat a good pick by Valbuena, by the way, but is how guys create angles in order to make those plays. Because you see Correa starting on that dirt, diving into the outfield grass, enabling him to make that play.
When Correa was yet to come up with the Astros, there's a lot of talk about whether he was ready defensively and this and that, and I'm not sure I was believing everything I was hearing. But what we've seen in the big leagues is he's got great range at shortstop.
And a hose.
Yes, he does. Now Marwin Gonzalez is another guy that can really throw from short, third, wherever it might be. But he doesn't have the range, any real part of that range that Correa has. So 1-1 count on Jimenez. A lot of pitches needed on each side here this evening. Boston Red Sox are leading over the Yankees in the Bronx 2-1 in the 8th inning. And now that pitch count continues to rise for Scott Kazmir. The next one will be number 70. For the Red Sox, the knuckleballer Stephen Wright on the hill. Steve Sparks will be gleeful to hear that. 8 innings of 1-run ball. There's that change again. It's just not on the money at all.
Why do you call it a knuckleball if you throw it off your fingertips?
Thanks, Stephen.
Took me a while to think of something.
Yeah.
Appreciate you staying with me.
You betcha. Yeah. I'm glad to hang around.
Well, you're kind of tethered. Can't go anywhere.
I'm a willing and very enjoyable audience. Throw down on the stolen base attempt, and with that throw high from Conger, able to get in is Adam Rosales. Well, Hank Conger continues to have his struggles in terms of that throwing game. For Rosales, that's his 4th steal. He's been caught 4 times this year.
Pretty good changeup from Kazmir to get that strikeout. Pretty good job by Altuve trying to keep that glove on him the entire time.
4 strikeouts now for Scott. 2 outs. And it brings up the leadoff man, Delino DeShields. Just the 4th inning, game 3 in this 3-game set. Rangers up a couple of games. And now even Scott Kazmir trailing against Texas.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. Changeup usage by count. And he's ahead. Obviously, he has a chance to put guys away. He's going to throw it a little bit more often. But he's still not afraid to throw that at any point in the count. I think he's pretty consistent with it. Obviously, pretty confident in it. And the numbers against it are incredibly low.
Speaking of low numbers, with that stolen base by Rosales, for Hank Conger, he's gotten just 1 of 25 stolen base attempts this year. So that has been a struggle, and yet the bat has been really good for Hank. Got him looking. Second time tonight, DeShields has gone down looking. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, 5 on the night for Kazmir. But we go to the 5th inning with the Rangers on top 4-1.
Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues for this Astro. Remember to tweet the guys in the booth. We'll give the answer later in the broadcast. His dad convinced his high school to start a baseball team. His favorite college team included Will Clark, Rafael Palmeira. Fixed arm injury while repairing his truck. Yeah, here's a bonus clue. He often disrupted Miguel Tejada's field dance before first pitch. Come on, Astros fans. Let's see what you got.
All right, there's your name, that Astro. I think there's one of those clues that kind of rings a bell for us.
Well, if you're injured, what are you doing fixing your truck?
Got to do something, right?
Shouldn't you be fixing other things?
You mean like the story Carlos Correa was telling us last night?
Yeah.
But fixing a weakness in his swing. He was out with that broken ankle last year, and so what does he do? He goes out and starts hitting off a tee, and of course as soon as he could do it, but trying to work on a perceived weakness. This guy may not have had any weaknesses. I'm not sure.
No, I agree.
Bottom three in the order for the Astros here in the 5th inning, trailing 4-1, a 2-0 count on Conger. Conger hit a soft line drive to third base to end the 2nd inning. Martinez brings the strike. Conger almost staring down that bat. It's been good to him lately, or vice versa. Conger draws the leadoff walk, and it brings up Luis Valbuena.
Last time the Astros had a leadoff walk, he scored. It was last inning when Carlos Gomez walked, stole a base, and then scored on the Jed Lowry double. Good to see the bottom of this order for the Houston Astros get some guys in scoring position and turn this lineup over and start doing some damage.
Mike Maddox, the pitching coach out there, brother of Greg Maddox.
You notice how he's always touching people?
He's always got that right hand. It always starts with the hand on the shoulder. That father to son conversation. Valbuena grounded out to first base as he led off the 3rd inning.
It's my first locker mate in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a good guy. Quite the humorous family, the Maddoxes.
Valbuena's hit in 3 straight, and in each one of those 3 games he's had 2 hits. So he's been swinging a much hotter bat here recently, hitting .209 now.
We've actually seen him doing a good job of going against this shift that's been played on him all year long. He's doing a good job of just going with pitches the other way. You see him trying to almost force that one right there.
Played in just 1 game against the Diamondbacks in that recent set at Houston. Went 2 for 4 in that one. And now in his 3rd game, playing all 3 here against the Texas Rangers. 2 hits in each of the first 2. And one of those hits a home run. And that was big number 20. Jimenez keeps it in front up that first base line. Shift on for Valbuena. Jake Marisnick waits on deck. And a 2-2 count on Luis.
These guys are on it. On it. I had somebody tweet me that if it's not Royals, well, he's going to eat his tractor.
Uh-oh.
It's not good.
Well, if that tractor ever has an issue with the engine and you work on it, especially if you got some kind of injury, that could be good for you. Red Sox still leading over the Yankees now in the 9th inning, 2-1. The Diamondbacks have a 4-2 lead in Washington, D.C. The Nationals trailing the D-backs. Diamondbacks about hit them 12-2 on the night in the 6th. The Dodgers in the 8th inning at Philadelphia lead the Phils 4-1. It's the Pirates leading the Cubs in the 8th 6-4. Soft liner foul to the seats, so it stays at 2-2.
How about Valbuena this year? He's got 20 home runs. Only 5 of them have been with runners on base.
15 solos out of 20. Wow.
So that's a big number, isn't it?
Is a big number.
42 RBIs on the season for Luis.
Seems really improbable. 42 RBIs on the year for Luis. Phil Klein now, the right-hander for the Texas Rangers in their pen. Runners on this year for Valbuena. He's hitting just 182. Well, that kind of sums up the RBI total when you consider 20 home runs. Popped up down the left. Beltre giving chase and runs out of room. Ryan Rua getting over there as well.
Rua ran out of room.
You are so illiterate.
Illiterate.
Did not say that.
Oh, you did.
Check the tape.
That's not nice. What's tape? Seems all digitized. I think. Oh no.
Yeah, baby. Let's go get that offense going. 3-2. Conger with a very short lead. Starts spinning the wheels before getting back to the bag.
It's like Bugs Bunny.
Could almost hear the music playing, couldn't you? Conger does not go. The pitch drilled but fouled on the right side.
My goodness, get out of the way,
Wow.
Lindsey.
Young ball girl. I'm not sure she ever saw the ball, did she?
There's no way, because I don't think she budged. Wow. There's a game going on.
Somebody must have said something. She finally ducked, but
Watch this security guard. Oh, she gave it an effort.
She tried.
Oh boy, almost wore it on the ricochet.
10th pitch of this at bat. Changeup popped up. It's the catcher Jimenez, now called off by Beltre, and you let the sure man have it on the Willie Mays basket catch. Did you ever get to watch Willie Mays play?
No. Just on some of the old highlight reels.
Always made this catch. And most of the time lower, down around the waistband or below.
Oh, goodness. Adrian Beltre does that. Oh, nice play, man. You really did that well. Jeff Blum does that. If you ever do that again.
There's a lot of conversation going on down there.
Plenty. Got a lot of people up in this thing.
Jake Marisnick at the plate. 1 out. Conger at first base. Aggressive swing this time as he fouls it down the left side. And for me, that's a little bit of what I'm seeing with Jake when he's finally kind of cranked it up and said, okay, I'm just going to get me some good hacks. That's when it starts to happen. Ground ball over the bag. It's a fair ball. Beltre with the play gets Marisnick. And that's a pretty nice play. Conger into second base, but now 2 outs for Jose Altuve.
Every Wednesday night home game is $1 Hot Dog Wednesday, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. The next chance to crush dollar dogs is August 19th when the Astros take on the Rays. For more information, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Thankfully, that is not a dollar hot dog.
Why thankfully? I'd go for those as a dollar dog.
Good grief.
By the way, Jake Marisnick still looking for his first hit in the month of August. 0 for 2 on the night. 0 for 6 on the month. And just staying with Jake a bit. April saw him hit .379, and since then it has been a very rough go. Altuve's 0 for 2. A couple of fly balls to center field. The second one hit well. The Astros 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. And a 2-0 count. Carlos Gomez waits on deck. That really should serve Altuve well. Fastball in the dirt, backhanded by Jimenez. And now 3-0. And you would love to see Gomez come to the plate with a couple of men aboard. By the way, we've talked about the Blue Jays and how well they've been playing recently. They lead 9-7 over the Twins now in the bottom of the 7th inning in Toronto. But the flashing lights all over. And that is representative of what? Is that?
Well, we saw this in Anaheim,
yeah,
or Los Angeles, or Los Alamitos, or whatever it is down there in Southern California, where the Angels play.
Ah, that's the wave for the new millennium.
Yes, remember that?
Yes. Okay.
And they are doing a pretty good job at it.
Feels like a rock concert to me.
I like it.
Altuve with a ground ball foul. And then I start thinking, when's the last rock concert I've been to?
Blue Oyster Cult.
No, but I did go see a little country western thing last October with Jason Aldean and the Florida Georgia Line. That was really good. But they didn't have the millennial wave going on. Three and 2 on Altuve. Ground ball. Couple of hops at shortstop for Andrus. And there go the Astros in the 5th inning. They leave a man at second. Through 4.5. It's a 4-1 Texas lead. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Big Time Bats. The Craig Biggio Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame bat is now available. Call Big Time Bats at 866-490-BATS bats or see it at bigtimebats.com. From the bottom of the 5th inning at now Globe Life Park here in Arlington, Texas. Started as the ballpark in Arlington, and I thought that had a nice feel to it.
I liked it too.
Ryan Strasburger at the plate in his major league debut. He's laid down a sacrifice bunt and grounded out. So 0 for 1 in the big leagues. He's made a really good defensive play. A diving grab of a line drive hit by Colby Rasmus that would otherwise have put another run on the board for the Astros. Rangers picked up 3 unearned runs in the first inning against Casimir, 1 more in the second on a home run, and the Astros lone run coming in the 4th. That came on a double by Jed Lowry. Changeup is hit in the air and fairly deep to center field. Gomez going back and now has to make a heck of a catch over the shoulder. Out number 1. A lot going on out there.
He was proud of himself. That was a good play. Got a good jump on this. Changeup been hit pretty well, but does a good job of sprinting back there and securing that in the web of his glove.
Wasn't sure he was all out and then realized at the end he had a little bit more to go.
I wonder if he knows the camera's on him.
At all times, diving stop Altuve. From the knees, he'll get Prince Fielder, and a couple of nice plays here in the 5th inning. 2 outs for Casimir quickly.
Without that shift on, Altuve's got a man that side of the infield all by himself and does a good job of it.
Adrian Beltre now at the plate. He's had a little dance routine there at the plate a couple of times tonight. Two 2-0. Always dangerous with a man like this at the plate. So that wave has ceased here at the ballpark in Arlington, but see an occasional ripple. Ground ball left side, very tough for Correa. The jump throw and got him. Another fantastic play by Correa. Oh man, is he something to watch.
Nick Martinez is out of there. The Rangers bring in big right-hander Phil Klein, making his 11th appearance on the season. Got himself a fastball around 92 miles an hour. Slider is his best pitch. Has an occasional changeup. Doing a little bit of both down there in Round Rock, starting and relieving. How about this? 4th stint in the major leagues this year. He is on the shuttle program.
26 years of age, 2nd season in the big leagues. And he's only worked in 27 previous games over the 2 seasons, 10 times this year. And along with that shuttle between AAA and the major leagues, back and forth between the bullpen and as a starter, he's made 2 starts this year. When you look at stats, a lot of the time when you're looking at pitchers, you want to see how many hits they allow per inning. And he has allowed 22 hits in 17 innings. Now, that's a pretty high figure, a little over 11.5 per 9. Carlos Gomez tries to start something here in the 6th inning. It has been a quiet night with the bats. 1 Houston hit. So Nick Martinez on his birthday, 25th, leaves with a 4-1 lead. One and one on Carlos. That Astros shortstop waits on deck. He has been just amazing to watch.
I don't know what else to say about the kid. He's been, truly amazing.
Yeah, at times you get the feeling like maybe you're overdoing it, but I don't know if you can. When he quiets down just a little bit with the bat, then you start watching that glove and the fantastic plays he's been making. Three and two now on Gomez. The Astros need some base runners. Ground ball, but right there is Rosales. First out here in the 6th.
Just sit back and enjoy. Just does an incredible job of getting himself in position to make these plays. He's 6'4", you got to remember, and a legit 6'4". That's not Lance McCullers going out there at 6'1". He is every square inch of 6'4", and able to range like that and have the body control and the athleticism to get up in the air and still throw it on a line to first.
And not skinny. He's a big, strong kid. Yes, really young man, and a very impressive young man. Correa with the bat tonight has grounded out a couple of times.
Had the chance to come up through the Montreal organization with a guy named Vladimir Guerrero. Probably one of the better ball players in all the game during that time in the early 2000s, and he was amazing. He could do everything: hit, throw, run. Great guy in the clubhouse. He was one of those guys that when I came up I saw and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty legit. He's going to be good for a very long time. But it was kind of funny because we had Pete McCannon, who I believe now is the interim manager in Philadelphia, was our third base coach. And he would come down the line and look at me, Mike Mordecai, Brian McGuire, all these bench guys, and he'd go, you, and you are never going to be as good as that guy. And we just sat there and we were like, man, you are so right. Because it was incredible watching him on a daily basis, because there was just you would see something new and different that just put you in awe every day.
I imagine there's been some of that in now watching Correa and all the things he does. Has a 3-2 count, 1 out here in the 6th.
Another good one is Mike Mordecai would sit on the bench and Vladdy would walk by after another home run. He'd high five him and he'd go, there he goes, boys. He'd say, there who goes, the best there ever was.
Correa fouls it back. And another one of those Kind of classic two-strike swings shooting toward right field. Well, I know what you're talking about. Vladimir Guerrero, for a good period of time, was about as good as anybody in the game.
Oh. Every pitch was a good pitch.
Didn't see anything he didn't like.
He was not selective at all.
Yeah, there was no point in saying get a good pitch to hit. Correa draws the walk. And base runners have not been coming easily tonight. That's the fourth walk, though, issued. And it brings up Jed Lowry.
Join us for Legends Weekend, presented by Houston Methodist, August 14th and 15th. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 2005 NLCS team with a special pregame ceremony, a 2005 NLCS t-shirt, a commemorative World Series tumbler, each to 10,000 fans. For more information, visit Astros.com/Legends Weekend or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Left-hander Sam Freeman now throwing in the pen for Texas. Jimenez goes out to the mound. He'll chat with Phil Klein. Bottom of the ninth now in the Bronx. Yankees still trailing the Red Sox 2-1. Dodgers at the Phillies 4-3 LA in the 8th. And also the 8th inning in Pittsburgh, 7-4 Pirates lead over the Cubs. There goes Correa. The pitch, a ball, the throw down, not in time. Carlos Correa has picked up another stolen base, and just another aspect of that game for Correa, his 7th stolen base in 8 tries.
Just keep doing it, kid. Just dazzling. He wasn't even in that big a lead at first base.
Now, we heard about his numbers at AAA, and amongst all the numbers, the stolen base game, I believe he had 18 at the time he was called up. And now Jed Lowry, a chance to drive in a second run tonight.
It's almost not fair, though, for Jimenez behind home plate. Got a guy like Phil Klein, 6'7". It takes a while for him to unfold and come towards home plate.
The Astros just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position tonight, but you can quickly turn that around with a hit right here. And that's waiting on it.
Phil Klein kind of reminds me of a guy named John Roush.
Yes.
6'8", 6'10", and he was a big guy, but he'd come at you with all of his body, legs, and arms, and all of a sudden, poof, 90 miles an hour, and you're swinging at the body.
You're talking at the big time of his career. I saw him a little later when he was about 86 to 88.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Wow. But you just don't. You assume that a large man like that is going to throw much harder. The ball just doesn't get there.
Lowry lays off, and now has a 3-2 count. That's the kind of body scouts would drool over, and it doesn't necessarily equate. A lot of the little guys really have the big arms.
Seen nothing but 3-2 counts out of the young man, too.
And it's been a big part of the night. This is the 20th pitch of the inning. There goes Correa again, the throw down, and not in time. Correa nabs it. Back-to-back stolen bases for Carlos, as Jed Lowry took ball 4, so he'll head on down to first base. And now runners at first and third without a hit.
Hey, what if that throws a little bit better and down towards the bag? Correa might be out.
Yeah, I agree. That tag just simply missed. And don't leave that bag.
That would have been frustrating if he had gotten thrown out.
Yeah, now with the replays, that departure of the bag at any point has become a big thing. Yeah, had that tag been able to reach Correa, and furthermore, a really good slide away from home plate. One out, runners at first and third, and now Jimenez just taking time out on the field.
Well, you got Mike Maddox halfway onto the field. You've got Bannister on the phone looking at replays. Shouldn't be able to hold that long.
There goes the hand up over the shoulder, and that's a reach up. Maddox not only talking with his pitcher, but reminding everybody where they're going to be on certain plays. 1 out, Evan Gattis at the plate, and the Astros need a big swing. Jed Lowry with that walk at first. Carlos Correa, stolen bases number 7 and 8 here in the inning. Just 84 miles an hour on that breaking ball. It's a strike. Gattis with 59 ribbies and looking to jump into the 60s. As a 1-1 count. Gattis hit just 164 in the month of April. And then turned it on, got hot in May, hit 276. And since then, hanging around the 250, 260 kind of mark. How many sunflower seeds are needed for a quality at bat?
That's a darn good question. It varies. Depends on the length of the at bat.
That's a darn good answer, by the way.
But you know, you got to be well prepared, so a good cheekful would be my guess.
Hit into right field on the line, coming on, but not able to get there. Strasburger. That will score Correa. Moving into second, Lowry, RBI single. And the Astros drawing closer. It's now 4-2. Texas on top, still 1 out.
Just keep punching away. Get some base runners, get a clutch hit every now and then, start piling up the numbers. Bannister's on his way to the mound to get Klein out of there. Been a rough go for the young man right now, but that was almost in the kill zone for Evan Gattis. A little bit higher. He might have driven that one out.
Wasn't sure if that ball was going to hang up long enough for Strasburger. So the Astros come through with a man in scoring position as Sam Freeman jogs in from the pen.
For the guys, scoring a run to make that score 4-2. Texas over Houston. Got ourselves another pitching change here in Arlington. Jeff Bannister, the manager of the Rangers, going out and getting left-hander Sam Freeman. Seen him in this series already. He's making his 40th appearance. Remember, he's got that good fastball around 95 miles an hour. Also backs that up with a split-fingered fastball / changeup. Also has a slider.
28 years of age, born in the fair city of Houston.
And again, he's tearing up right-handed hitters, only hitting a .146 against him. Left-handed hitters hitting .294 against him. He's given up 2 home runs on the season, both to left-handed hitters.
And yet twice now in the series brought on to face the left-handed bat or bats. Hank Conger, the switch hitter, waits on deck, but he's swinging left-handed at the moment. And now turns right. Colby Rasmus takes the first pitch low.
Tell you what, Jeff Bannister, he's got an immense amount of patience. Their bullpen has been kind of moved around, trying to find the parts that are going to work best. We've seen him do a decent job in this series, but it hasn't been without throwing a lot of pitches.
That high fastball chased by Rasmus. There's Jeff Bannister. That Texas bullpen is dead last in the American League with an ERA of .468. And now favorable count for Rasmus. It's Kansas City and Houston at the top of the bullpen list. And the fact that Texas can be playing .500 baseball with a bullpen that's performing like that, pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is, and it makes you wonder how long it can last.
And as we saw last night, timeouts with Freeman on the hill and inability to pick up signs. Now you could get those signs easily, right?
Yeah, that was the hardest part about playing up the middle, is trying to figure out what pitchers we're going to go with.
Just away, it's 3-1.
Because you talked about it earlier. Sometimes, some guys are just simple. They don't care what's going on. They, first sign after 2, second sign. You take a look where this pitch is. Good eye by Colby, able to hold up. But I mean, I've played with pitchers that are like, outs +1.
Yep.
Second sign after the last pitch, you're like, come on, man.
And there's ball 4. So Freeman comes on, walks the left-handed bat Rasmus, and now the bases are loaded. The Astros down a pair of runs, and Hammer and Hank Conger coming to the plate.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that'll bring up Mike Maddox once again.
Nothing like a switch hitting catcher that can go deep for 4 runs on one swing, huh, Ash?
Works for me.
It did work for you.
On occasions, very seldom.
Has a chance to do it from the right side now against Sam Freeman.
Spencer Patton, a right-hander, loosening in that pen now for Texas, but it feels like they're playing catch-up a lot of the time, trying to get somebody loose and therefore trying to kill some time. Conger takes inside. The Astros a week ago had no grand slams. They now have 2 and another opportunity. And there's Patton. Two and all the count. Jimenez with a nice play.
He's getting his work in this inning, that's for sure.
The only hit of the inning by Evan Gattis. And a 3-0 count.
Things are kind of speeding up if you watch Sam Freeman's motion. It looks like he's really rushing towards home plate. And that body starts moving fast. Real tough to find that release point.
What are you putting on right here? You have the take, or do you have go ahead and get one?
No, I'm taking. Because if he has to throw a fastball for a strike here 3-0. If he does it, then he's going to have to throw a strike 3-1.
And it turns out to be a pretty tough strike down and away. Home plate umpiring generous on this pitch.
A little bit. But he's got to throw a fastball in this situation right here, 3-1.
And ball 4. It's the 4th walk of the inning. It brings in a run as Lowry crosses, leaves the bases loaded for Luis Valbuena. And the Astros now within a run. It's 4-3 Texas.
4 walks in 1 inning. That will drive your manager nuts. Good patience by Conger, not trying to get too greedy in that 3-1 count to drive in a couple runs. Just keep that train rolling. Keep each guy going up there having good quality at bats. We've seen, I think every guy's been up there in a 3-1, 3-2 count too. It's been a lot of pitches in this inning.
A lot of pitches, and again the 4 walks, 1 hit. Evan Gattis. In fact, the Astros just 2 hits on the night, and they're right back in this game. 4-3 in the 6th. And a chance to possibly break one open a little bit.
Well, that's what A.J. Hinch is wondering. When is it going to snap? When are these guys just going to start unloading on these opportunities that the Rangers pitchers are giving them?
Breaking ball in for a strike. So Freeman couldn't throw the fastball for a strike. Turns to the slider and gets it. Half swing, it's up and in. Ball and a strike.
That's the hardest part in this situation right now, is being patient, getting a good pitch to hit, being ready to hit that pitch also. We talked about the struggles on the road. We talked about the missed opportunities, and you've got one right in your lap right now.
Good swing by Luis as he fouls it back.
It was.
Prior to tonight, the Astros 2 for 73 in grand slam opportunities. For Hank Conger, he just picked up RBI number 21. Valbuena stays alive. A 1-2 count here in a big 6th inning. Nervous crowd in Arlington. That batting average for Valbuena at .208. And a strange year. Very good defense. Strong with the home run ball, but the rest of the offensive side has been lacking. And now again, timeout as Jimenez goes out to the mound. How many trips, whether catcher or pitching coach, have been made this inning?
I think that might have been the 4th or 5th. Because we've had Maddox out there 2 or 3 times. Bannister's been out there to make the pitching change. Jimenez just going out there. Oh, goodness.
Nice job by Jimenez to keep this near home plate.
Man, just holding on too tight there.
And again, folks, and we said it earlier in the ball game, the catcher's name is Jimenez, not Jimenez. And just to alleviate all the questions out there.
It's a hard G, not a soft G.
That's correct. Good job to foul it off. It stays at 2-2. The ups and downs of a baseball season. Sometimes the offense is going strong. Sometimes it's just so tough to make something happen. Down on strikes, Valbuena. And that is a costly strikeout. 2nd out of the inning. 2 outs now for Jake Marisnick. And that's going to bring another trip to the mound. As the skip comes out, Jeff Bannister will point to the bullpen. He'll bring on a right-hander. And we'll see how the Astros respond here. Jake Marisnick heading for the moment back to the dugout. But that is the big out to this point.
I think Jake's going over there to get a scouting report on Patton, who's coming into this game now. But yeah, missed opportunities on strikeouts have got to be extremely frustrating for that man with the notes right there, Dave Hudgens, the hitting coach.
So the Astros down a run as we break it.
Correct answers on Twitter. It is Roy Oswalt. Dad talking a small high school into having a baseball team. This story while repairing the truck, guys, is this real?
Yep. True story.
Can you tell it to us?
He was doing something. It was either fixing a battery or a spark plug in there, reaches in and just gets zapped. Like zapped to the point where it knocked him to the ground, kind of zapped. He gets up rolling around and started throwing a baseball and figured out that everything was back to normal.
Spencer Patton on now, works it with the bases loaded, 2 out to Jake Marisnick. Patton, 27 years of age, second year in the big leagues, both with the Texas Rangers. It is seize the moment time. And a few of those got away last night. Ball and a strike on Jake. Got a fastball to hit and fouled it back, and now 1-2.
Got a good fastball to hit, but he missed it. Now he's 2-strike count. May have earned himself a slider. Big 2-out RBI right here would be real nice.
Pick up a couple if you want it. Fly ball shallow in center field. Coming on is the center fielder. DeShields makes the catch. Marisnick flies out, and that'll do it. The Astros get a pair while leaving 3. They're down a run, 4-3.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your
strikes out Cincinnati's Eric Davis to become the second member of the 4,000 strikeout club, joining Nolan Ryan in the elite group. Carlton is currently fourth on that all-time list. And get a peek at that all-time list. There they are. Nobody close to Nolan.
It's incredible. Massive strikeout numbers.
And while we're looking at that with Nolan Ryan and the strikeout leaders, everybody came out to the mound to meet with Scott Kazmir. And apparently something alerted A.J. Hinch and others that something may not be right. So skipper and trainer out there along with the pitching coach. And apparently they are convinced that Kazmir is okay. So he will work it here in the 6th inning. See what he looked like with the warm-up tosses.
Stretching out that left hamstring or that left calf. Hot, humid night. Hopefully it's just a cramp. He's biting him a little bit.
To the bottom of the 6th we go, and hopefully everything good with Scott Kazmir. 5, 6, 7 coming up for the Rangers. Mitch Moreland leads it off. So much like last night, the Astros presented with opportunities to score and can't come up with a big hit. Kazmir in front, 0-2. Rangers have just 4 hits on the night. 3 of the runs against Kazmir unearned. A very sloppy first inning. Chad Qualls now gets loose in the Astros pen. Moreland is 1 for 2 on his night. Breaking ball drilled into right field, dropping for a hit. Leadoff single Moreland, his 2nd hit of the night. It brings up Elvis Andrus.
Think anybody will ever touch Nolan Ryan's number?
Nope. I don't think guys have a chance to pitch enough innings to even get close anymore.
What about 4,000 or 3,000 as a milestone as far as strikeouts?
Well, I guess Felix Hernandez is going to get to one of those figures. It would appear 3,000 for certain. Yeah, nothing certain, but I think to get to 4,000 with the innings that you're allotted anymore, it's going to be really tough.
With the high strikeout percentages around baseball.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
How would Nolan Ryan or Steve Carlton feel about pitching to some of these hitters that are just swinging for the downs, it seems like, and the strikeout numbers keep rising?
There's Chad Qualls getting it loose. So Andrus tries to drop down a bunt. Has an 0-1 count. Ground ball back up the middle. Right there is Correa. Steps on the bag, gets the double play. 6 unassisted, 3. And just like that, 2 outs and the base is empty.
We were just talking about it. Felix has just got over 2,000. What he's got to do to catch Nolan Ryan? Are you kidding me? 108 more Ks this year. He's got to average 248 strikeouts per season for the next 14 years. That means Felix is probably going to have to be about 44, 45 years old, striking out close to 250. But then you also got to tack on the 44.
So he can do that for the next 14 years and then has to come back for 1 more and strike out 44 more to get it done.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep a close watch on that one. Meanwhile, it's 4-3 Texas here. Kazmir now becoming maybe sharper than he's been throughout the game. It's the left fielder Ryan Rua at the plate with an 0-2 count. And still 91 plus miles an hour for Scott. Makes it look so easy.
Really does. Nice fluid motion. Kind of a nice little play picked up behind him too.
Yeah, just tailor-made. Yeah, I'd be out there sweating like Charles Barkley right about now, and he looks cool and calm
on the golf course.
Oh, amen on that one. Hopefully not swinging that way, but
I got to give credit to Kazmir too. That 3-run first inning, all 3 of those runs in the first inning unearned. If you wipe that out, he's only given up 1 run and keeping these guys in the game, but he's done a great job of throwing up zeros here in the last 3 innings. He is just not having a good time with that changeup, and I wonder if maybe that possible cramp in that back leg is hindering him from throwing that the way he wants to.
Now that change has not at all been like it's been in the first 2 games with the Astros. There it is, and that's a good version of it.
That was a real good pitch. Notice that a lot of good pitchers, if they miss with one, they want to come back with it and throw a better one.
What if they don't miss?
Much better than that.
Yeah, that's perfection and no call.
My goodness, how do you not give him that?
And I wonder, I posed the question last night as the umpires get their review sheets every night, and they see some balls called strikes and some strikes called balls. Which of the 2 bother them more? That when a pitcher out there working to throw strikes doesn't get that strike, or vice versa with the hitters? And now 3-2 because of that missed call earlier in the count.
I would imagine this has got to be Kazmir's last inning. 98 pitches already. He's got to work hard to do it in some tough conditions, keeping his ball club in this game. That's too bad.
Rua draws the walk, comes with 2 outs, and brings up the 8-hitter Adam Rosales.
He's still talking about it. He knows that that changeup he threw was a good one, and good enough to get him out of this inning for sure.
Rosales is 1 for 2. He's also stolen a base. That was a 10-pitch walk to Rua. And now the next pitch thrown by Kazmir, number 100 on the evening. Base hit down the left field side. Stopping at second base is Rua. So that's the second hit for Rosales and brings up the 9 spot with Chris Jimenez. And that also brings out the skip. A.J. Hinch coming out.
That's just too bad.
And I think Kazmir probably right now is saying, where was that pitch? The one that I wanted.
You're exactly right. As soon as Conger got out there, he said, you got to be kidding me.
So Kazmir is done. He's done a fine job allowing the 3 unearned runs early, but trails only 4-3 as Qualls comes on.
Out of the game. treat employees, host clients, or bring out your church or youth group and create an experience your group is sure to remember with Astros group tickets. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/groups to reserve your group today.
And there you see Scott Kazmir. He can only watch now as Chad Qualls tries to get out of the 6th inning. A couple of runners aboard. But that's a strong effort. 5 2/3, allowing just 1 earned run, but those costly 3 unearned runs in the first. Leading to, obviously, the fact that the Astros are trailing at this point. 5 strikeouts over the 5 2/3. And now it's Chad Qualls. "36 years of age is Qualls. 12 years in the major leagues. But right now he's got to get Chris Jimenez, the catcher. Starts him with the breaking ball. Jimenez with his first home run of the year, first home run in a few years, back in the 2nd inning. And that the only earned run against Kazmir. So he's allowed 1 earned run now in 3 starts for Houston. Chad Qualls has been very good in recent outings. In fact, he's only allowed 1 run over his last 9 outings. 1-2 the count. Conger keeps it in front. 2-2. The life of a reliever. If you're one of the guys in the back end of the bullpen, you hope to be in these close games time and time again.
It's not a job for the weak at heart.
No, it is not. And again, that slider fouled off. It stays at 2-2. For Chad Qualls, over the last 28 days, he's allowed a 154 batting average against, on base of 185 in that span, and slugging at 192. So he has just simply held it down. Ground ball to short. 2 hops for Correa. He'll go to first base and get the out, and that'll do it. Qualls comes on, gets it done, and gets that final out of the 6th inning. It's still a 4-3 game.
on the DL since July 2nd with that right wrist fracture. But if you look over in the dugout, you always see him, and here he is. He said it keeps me in the game and focused. That's the goal. Anything I can do to learn will help me going forward. George Springer, obviously the heart and soul of this team, very energetic, and despite being on the DL, you see him everywhere. He's the first guy you see in the clubhouse. He's playing video games with his teammates. He's got the music going. Ash, I know you've noticed this as well. Springer, despite not being able to play on the field, still contributing to this team and their success this season.
No doubt about it, Julia. He's the guy that really sticks out, kind of that, I don't know, I don't want to call it spiritual leader, but just the upbeat guy that always keeps it light and fun on the team. And of course, he's loaded with great talent, and the Astros could certainly use George Springer back in that lineup. I believe it's been about 5 weeks now he's been out, and typically 6 to 8 for a broken bone. So we'll see if and when George is able to get back. We go to the 7th inning, 4-3 Rangers. Jose Altuve at the top of the order leads it off, 0 for 3 on his night. The Astros brought 8 batters to the plate in the 6th and got 2 runs. And now Altuve's 0 for 4. Well, the Astros, Josh Fields getting loose in the pen. It is still Spencer Patton on, pitching for the Texas Rangers, their 4th pitcher of the night. Carlos Gomez has walked in 3 plate appearances. After that walk, he stole a bag in the 4th inning and scored a run. That was the first of the 2 make that 3 Houston runs tonight. Jake Diekman is the left-hander, that hard thrower with Texas. Ball and a strike now on Gomez. Close. And when you're scuffling as a team, you're just wondering, where's the big swing going to come?
They've been good in the late innings, 7th inning on. They've been real good at scoring runs. Haven't seen that electricity of late on the road. Seen some of it at home.
Young man with a baseball there. Used to bring it at 101.
Did you just say his age on here?
I did not. They didn't have radar guns, but believe me, it was 101. Trying to hold back. Gomez goes through. He's down on strikes. Just the 3rd strikeout of an Astros hitter tonight, but that's 2 outs now in the 7th.
Yeah, just chasing some bad pitches out of the zone. Teams will go in funks as a whole. Start trying to press a little too much, trying to do too many things that you're incapable of instead of just staying in that strike zone and being patient. And these Texas Rangers pitchers will test your patience.
But again, this is a bullpen that's dead last in the American League. Carlos Correa tries to make some sense of that. Angels victorious earlier today against the Indians. Came back with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win that one 4-3. The Orioles with a grand slam in the 9th inning from Chris Davis. Win in 10 innings at Oakland. Well, the Oakland A's are not going to be happy starting tomorrow. Don't often see Correa swing at a pitch well out of the strike zone.
Yeah, that is rare.
Red Sox have downed the Yankees 2-1. The Dodgers beat the Phillies 4-3. Pirates winners over the Cubs 7-5, and the Blue Jays top the Twins 9-7. And again, that 2-strike hit it to the right side swing. Boy, he hits it hard that way too. There are your standings. Yankees, Royals, Astros leading the divisions in the American League. And the wild card, the Angels, are up with the Blue Jays and Orioles coming on, and Texas Rangers right at the bottom of that list. Now the strikeout, a couple in the inning, a 1-2-3 frame. Still 4-3.
It is a great ballpark bargain. Available to select Monday through Thursday regular season games. This offer scores you a ticket, a hot dog, soda, and popcorn, all for just $16. To purchase tickets, visit Astros.com/Coke Value or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Ash?
Thank you, Julia. How are things down there today? You had anything good to nibble on?
No, not today. I'm still full from these s'moreos yesterday.
Yeah, those look pretty good, and I underline looked pretty good. Because we didn't sniff any of those up here.
Sorry. I still got time. Maybe I can run up there and grab some State Fair fried food for you guys.
Yeah, you work on that, okay? Let's see if we can get the Astros some more runs tonight.
Twinkies? Those look like Twinkies. Fried Twinkies?
Why not? Anything fried is worth trying.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, Blum.
And our thanks again to Julia. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the order for the Texas Rangers, as now Josh Fields comes on to work it.
Josh Fields, 37th appearance. Doing pretty good. Good to see that whip right around .99. He'd like to keep that there. Keep runners off base.
Delino DeShields was the guy that got that 3-run first inning started. Hit a little dribbler out toward the mound as Casimir came on. He tried to barehand and dropped it, and eventually had no play. It was an E1 that started the frame. DeShields flies out, first out in the 7th. And that set it up. There was another error that followed that by Hank Conger, throwing one down the right side on a bunt by Strasburger. When it was all said and done, 3 unearned runs against Casimir. Pinch hitter now for the Texas Rangers, as they'll go to their bench and bring on Shin-Soo Choo. Go bat for Ryan Strasburger, who had that major league debut tonight. Choo with 14 homers on his season. Good off-speed pitch at 83. For the Astros in the 8th inning, it'll be Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, and Colby Rasmus coming up. This is the second season for Chu with the Texas Rangers. And he has not lived up to the billing for Texas. Hit .242 last year, hitting .239 now. He was 12th in the MVP voting in 2013 as a member of the Cincinnati Reds. Had the reputation of being a really good outfielder, and none of that has seemed to be true here for Texas.
He's had a reputation of being a good outfielder.
With Cincinnati, that was the word, and I think the Rangers thought they had their longtime right fielder.
That was not the scouting report we got when we were in the dugout.
No.
We were like, hit it to that guy, and if he has the ball in his hand, keep going.
Well, I kind of take the word from what some people were saying last year, that the Rangers were really surprised and disappointed in his defense. And you're saying there should have been no reason for surprise.
I think there's a reason he went from center field to right field. Because I know the scouting report we got, we came through and they were like, just keep going, aim for him, get it near him. I'm not trying to be totally berating Shin-Soo Choo, because I think he's a great hitter and he does do his best out there in the outfield. But for me, he's hitter first, defender second.
Well, the big thing about Chu in that big season with Cincinnati was the on-base percentage. He had a .423 mark that season.
Wow. Because
he had walked 112 times. But when you look through his career numbers, that is a total aberration of all the numbers. But now has a 3-2 count.
Well, I thought when he was with Cleveland, he had one of the sweeter left-handed swings in all of baseball.
Came up with Seattle in 2005. Moved on to the Indians, Cincinnati, and now again that second year with the Texas Rangers. That's intriguing, though, because I think sometimes the reputation off the field is different than the reputation on the field. Drive to right center field. Rasmus has a beat on it. Just in front of the warning track, makes the catch. That's 2 down.
Tomorrow's pitching matchup is presented by Chevron. They want you to care for your car. Scott Feldman will be going for the Houston Astros out there in Oakland. He'll be going up against Aaron Brooks. Getting to see some time in the big leagues. Only a 1-0 record. Feldman still working back from that rehab. Just looking to see what they can get out of each guy, each start. Try and buck this trend of losing on the road.
Fielder with a sac fly back in that first inning. RBI number 63. Since then he has struck out and grounded out. A fine play by Altuve to get him in the 5th inning. Pops it up, and that'll be back in the seats. Man is a hitter. And again, not just that power hitter that the image says. Stays on top of the baseball very well, drills it all over the yard. Down on that curveball. So a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout for Josh Fields as he gets through the 7th.
Marlins franchise record for home runs in a season with his 38 on August 5th. Baggy also got his 71st extra base hit that night, breaking another toy cannon record. And his 5 RBIs gave him 112 on the season, which broke Bob Watson's team record. That was a record-setting year. You know what's sad about that is that those numbers were unable to get much larger than they were getting because of the strike in 1994. So who knows what numbers Jeff Bagwell would have finished that season with.
First in the league in batting average at an amazing 368. Home runs 5th. RBIs leading it. Yeah. One of the early years of a tremendous player, Jeff Bagwell.
I believe it was they ended that season at 110 games. So Jeff still had another 52 games to go in that season to keep piling on.
I would say those numbers look like he was piling on already.
Man.
Jed Lowry leads it off. Lowry has reached twice tonight. He has doubled, driving in a run in the 4th inning. Also walked and scored in the 6th inning. 1 for 2. Jake Diekman, the left-hander, on to work it here in the 8th. And once again, the Astros looking for a start here. 2 hits for Houston tonight. 31,782 on hand this evening. A game that was at 100 degrees as the first pitch was thrown. Diekman can bring it. We were talking about it last night.
He was a big part of that Hamels deal coming over from Philadelphia. Probably didn't get talked about much, but this kid's got an electric arm.
And now 3-2. You saw still 93 degrees here. The assignment for Jed Lowry, get on base.
Some interesting numbers with the Astros offense too. You mentioned only 4 strikeouts on the evening, 2 walks. They have 2 hits. They have 7 walks. 8 walks.
And another one, yeah.
It's a season high.
Did you want more Jeff Bagwell?
Never get enough of Bagwell. 15 seasons, all with the Astros. 91 Rookie of the Year. 4-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger. This guy can do it all. What is interesting to me is his all-time numbers. 36th all-time in home runs. He's in the top 50 in most of these major categories in all-time numbers. So how do you explain him not being able to get into the Hall of Fame?
Tough one. Ground ball to second. Rosales to Andrews. And over to Moreland, and they get the double play. And that one stings.
Won that MVP in 1994. Also Jeff Bagwell did. But that season, there it is, 110 games. He scored 104 runs, drove in 116. His career OPS is well over 900.
And those are just the numbers, and you can't quantify what he was in the clubhouse and the dugout and just as a leader to everybody. Great first baseman, ran the bases far better than a lot of people ever realized.
That's a really good point that doesn't get talked about enough. You're going to have to be on the same team and play with him on a day in, day out type situation to really understand what he could do on the base paths. Ran perfect routes. Was always going first to third. He can score on any base hit anywhere at any time.
Colby Rasmus with a walk in 3 plate appearances. Colby hit a line shot in the 4th inning to right field. Jed Lowry was aboard with 2 outs. He was at second base, but a great diving play robbed Rasmus and the Astros. That by Strasburger in right field, the youngster. And then there was the 6th inning. They had scored a pair. They had the bases loaded with 1 out. But Balbuena struck out, and then Jake Marisnick flied out to end the inning. The Astros picked up the 2 runs but left 3 on base. John Daniels, you were looking at there, the young general manager for the Texas Rangers. Two and two.
Also need to mention in '94 that Bagwell broke his hand. That would have put a serious damper on the numbers he was putting up too.
Line drive, that's a base hit into right field. Right through that shift, Rasmus with a turn and will hold at first base. 2-out single brings up Hank Conger.
Catcher Hank Conger.
Pretty good piece of hitting. Guy blowing 97. You're able to keep that front side closed and hands back.
By the way, the 8 walks for the Astros tonight, a season high. And you would think on that kind of night you'd have some big production, but this just the 3rd hit of the night. Conger has walked twice, so he's just 0 for 1. And one of those walks with the bases juiced in the 6th drove in a run. It's a good swing as he fouls it back. You remember that big game with George Springer making the play here early in the season, that first week, leaping over the wall in right field, robbing a would-be home run. It was Hank Conger that hit the home run to win that game in extra innings. And now the pitch in the dirt kicks away. Rasmus moves into second base. It is a wild pitch. Not the best of efforts by Jimenez. Sam Dyson now loosens in the Texas pen. That tying run in scoring position now. Conger's getting his hacks. Rangers won the first one 12-9. They won last night's game 4-3. Fly ball down the right side. Coming on is Chu, the new right fielder, and he makes the catch, and that'll do it. Another minor rally is avoided. It's 4-3 Texas.
And Armako, big hit of the game. The reason why the Astros are trailing by that one run. Jimenez taking Scott Kazmir deep for the only earned run on the evening for Scott Kazmir. Rangers have scored 4 runs. They scored 3 in the first, all unearned. That home run in the second inning by Chris Jimenez is the difference right now as Pat Neshek comes on to the mound for the Astros.
4th pitcher of the night for Houston. And you see the numbers. He's been good. 2.93 the ERA, 24 holds on the year. And he simply hasn't walked many. He went a good long while early on in the season without a walk. Starts things with a strike to the 4-hitter, Adrian Beltre. Just always seems to be smiling, having a great time playing the game. And one of the game's great third basemen. Lines one to right center. Leadoff single here in the 8th inning. And now it's Rasmus with the assignment to hold it to a single and does a heck of a job.
Real good job. Ball was ripped, but how about the angle Colby takes to be able to cut that off? Took a chance reaching for it right there. Kind of a do or die to keep that ball from going into the gap.
He can really go in the outfield.
It's a pretty good throw on the spin right there too.
Mitch Moreland at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Rangers now with 7 hits. Adrian Beltre has stolen just 1 bag this year, but you wonder with that set of numbers that we've talked about with Hank Conger if they might consider running here in this 8th. Ball and a strike on Moreland.
Wouldn't be a bad time to try and sneak that stolen base, getting scoring position. Base hit gets you 1 more insurance run.
And again, the Rangers, who have picked up a stolen base tonight, are 2nd best in the American League in stealing bags.
Did a good job of staying back on 68 miles an hour.
It was just floating it up there. When did this need to re-Velcro the gloves after every pitch begin?
Nomar Garciaparra.
He's the one?
I don't know. I'm just going to put it on him because he did a lot of it.
He did do that, yes. Oh, fan fought that one off on the second tag. Did you see that?
Yeah. Put him in the ring.
Feet were sliding out from under him. He was going down and the hand went up.
Oh, gosh.
That was all out flail.
Bobby Flail?
Yes. Got him on strikes. Up out of the strike zone. That's 7 strikeouts for the Astros staff.
This poor guy.
Watch yourself.
Oh, my gooseness. What just happened? He wanted no part of that foul ball.
Turn your hind section toward the ball and then reach for it.
There's about 30,000 other fans out here that would have been reaching and trying to catch that thing.
1 out now for Elvis Andrus. Beltre still aboard at first. Andrus had an RBI single back in the 1st inning. He's grounded out and grounded into a double play since. That the only double play turned by the Astros tonight. The Rangers have won themselves. Again, it's Scott Feldman and Aaron Brooks tomorrow night as the Astros open a 4-game set in Oakland with the A's. And get used to the Astros being in the Bay Area for a week. 4 with the A's, a day off, and then 2 with the Giants.
I think we should go over to Alcatraz, Ash. Plenty of time to check that out.
As guests?
Oh, yeah. We've earned it.
That we have. Yeah, we could try that.
Go hang out on the rock.
You know what, though? That generally, from what I hear, you have to get yourself a reservation to get out over there.
It's a big deal to get out there,
yeah.
7 days in San Francisco.
Might be more like 8 or 9 after our off day.
I think we should try and figure out how many holes of golf we can play.
I think we will. Line drive to left field. Marisnick went back initially, then came on to make a nice play. Beltre was a little beyond halfway and able to get back. I think Jake got totally fooled on this ball. Either that or maybe lost it in the lights.
Good play, good adjustment. And remember, he plays a lot of center field, not used to playing left. Talked about angles for Jed Lowry off the bat at third base. Also for outfielders, trying to pick that ball up can be tough sometimes.
I think that's a big point. I'm not sure that ball was hooking at all, but I think it did have that top spin coming at him. 2 outs for Ryan Rua. Flips a little frisbee up there for a strike. It's 1-1.
That didn't look comfortable.
Even though you're trailing, you come on as Neshek and Qualls, and the assignment is to keep it as close as possible and give that offense a shot. Jeff Bannister looking for his Rangers to crawl over 500. Down on strikes, Rua. That'll do it. A couple of strikeouts for Neshek. He leaves a man on the base hit. Now to the 9th we go. Astros with work to do. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. It's game 3 now in Arlington. The Rangers winning the first 2. The Astros trying to manage 1 here. They're going to have to do something offensively, trailing 4-3. It's 8-9-1 coming up, and now Marwin Gonzalez will come up as a pinch hitter. He has just been announced for Luis Valbuena, and that brings out the slow walk and skip for the Rangers as he heads to the mound. Bannister points to the bullpen. He'll bring on the right-hander Dyson. And so Diekman, who is still out there loosening for the inning, will not deliver a pitch here in the 9th inning. Dyson jogs it in, and the Astros will try to get their work done against this righty. As Texas goes to the bullpen once again. Sam Dyson is the right-hander loosening now for the 9th inning.
His 48th appearance on the year. He's got a good power sinker around 96 miles an hour, slider changeup. Made his Texas debut on Saturday. Got traded from the Marlins and allowed a game-winning home run to Hunter Pence.
So it is a different looking bullpen now for the Texas Rangers than the one that's been last in the league in ERA all season. Astros fans wearing their sunglasses at night. Marwin Gonzalez, the pinch hitter, tries to get something going. I feel like bringing on the right-hander might have played into the hands of the Astros here, as Jason Castro is out on deck to pinch hit for Jake Marisnick. This may be just what the Astros needed here in the 9th inning. Will Harris is getting loose in the Astros pen. It's a ball and a strike on Marwin. Hitting .263. Luke Gregerson also up alongside Harris. That would be in the event the Astros take the lead here in the inning.
It's kind of pick your poison with Marwin Gonzalez right now, swinging the bat well from both sides of the plate. It's a good pitch to hit. Put a good swing on it too.
Yeah, you get that pitch in your wheelhouse and you just don't feel like you should foul it off.
Tollison, the normal closer for the Rangers, been throwing quite a bit of late.
Ground ball through the right side. It's a leadoff single as Marwin gets it going. And now Jason Castro will come to the plate.
It's a pretty good piece of hitting. Missed a pitch before. It's a changeup. It looks like about 89 miles an hour. Those hands are quick right now for Marwin. Does a good job leading off this inning, getting on base.
So Marwin aboard. Jason Castro at the plate. And you're not looking for the bunt here. Castro hits it down the left field side, but it slices back to the seats. Ben Martinez, Klein, Freeman, Patton, Diekman, and now Dyson for the Texas Rangers. Little dribbler in front. Jimenez with the play, does it nicely with glove and hand, and gets the out at first base. Just like the sacrifice bunt, Marwin now in scoring position for Jose Altuve.
Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Mike Stanton break down all the action from today's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show, presented by Houston Methodist.
So now 1 out. Gonzalez in scoring position. Altuve will stand in 0 for 4 on the night. A couple of flyouts and then a couple of groundouts. Altuve went 1 for 5 in each of the first 2 games, scoring a run in each case. The Astros 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. 1 hit right now turns it into a 300 night with men in scoring position. One and 1 the count on Jose. That batting average has dipped a bit down to .294 for Altuve. And now 1 and 2. Altuve came to the plate in the final inning last night, unable to come through. Had a shot, but it was one of those opportunities that simply got away for the Astros as Jimenez is once again back out to the hill.
There's been many a discussion on the mound.
There have been.
Severely worried about signs being picked with runners at second base, because that's when most of these meetings have happened, was with an Astros base runner at second base.
Tension at the yard. Two and 2.
Chased that one last night, making the adjustment.
Runs have been hard to come by for the Astros, but they are still third in the American League in runs per game, trailing Toronto and the Yankees, and that's it.
Oh.
And that fastball almost got Altuve, in fact did. And so Altuve, hit by the pitch, will go on down to first base. Runners at first and second. 1 out for Carlos Gomez.
Talked about that sinker. Can run it up there at 94 to 96 miles an hour. Just clipped that elbow pad. Good thing he has it on.
Well, he did a good job turning his head back toward the catcher and umpire.
You ain't lying. Oh, he's showing the guns. What a boy. Can't hurt this. It's a 4-3 game, and they're having a good old time out there, aren't they?
Now this ball, without question, hit that arm pad of Jose Altuve. One out. Carlos Gomez at the plate. Couple of pinch hitters in the inning. Marwin Gonzalez and Jason Castro. Marwin got that very big leadoff single, and he's at second.
Right part of the lineup up for the Astros.
Gomez in that big 2 spot now for the club.
Gomez can run, tough guy to double up.
He's looking for his first hit of the night. Carlos Correa waits on deck. He's looking for number 1. And a 2-0 count.
Pretty good eye right there. In the driver's seat right now. Get a pitch you can handle. Get a pitch you can drive.
On the hands, dribbled foul.
So much run on Dyson's fastball. See it middle, and it ends up running in on the hands. Carlos is frustrated with himself, having a little bit of a chat.
And Carlos has had a tendency to draw a lot of attention from the opposition players too through the years. Well spotted. It's 2-2. There's that run you're talking about.
It's just nasty. 96. By the time you have a chance to figure out where it's going, you can't pull the trigger.
Second straight night of very nervous 9th inning here in Arlington. And now Gomez down on strikes. And that running fastball at 95 leaves Gomez heading to the dugout. And now 2 outs for Carlos Correa.
Such a luxury as a pitcher when you have that kind of movement with that velocity. Don't have to go to those secondary pitches. You're able to start that ball down in the zone, run it down and in. You get a swing over the top from a right-handed hitter. But now got a youngster in Carlos Correa at 20 years old, a rookie, hitting third for a first-place team in a big spot with the tying run at first, winning run at second. Winning run at first base. I apologize.
It's gapper time, Blummer.
Yeah, get Altuve on that horse.
There's that little spin move towards second base. Nobody covering there. Correa 0 for 3 has walked, stolen 2 bags, and scored a run. Grounds one left side toward the hole. The throw to second, and they'll get the force on Altuve, and that'll do it as the Rangers make it 3 straight over the Astros. Another 4-3 victory for Texas, and the Astros start another trip in a really rough way. The Astros fall to 22-31 on the road.